If there exists a place in this world where reality and fairy tale dreams merge, it must surely be Switzerland. A small country nestled in the heart of Europe, yet possessing a beauty that leaves the world in awe. Here, nature is not merely scenery, but a vibrant, powerful living entity. It is where eternally frozen mountain peaks reach towards the blue sky, where deep valleys conceal dozens of cascading waterfalls, and where emerald green lakes lie as still as giant mirrors reflecting the passage of time. The magic of Switzerland lies not only in its geological masterpieces, it is also in the way its people choose to live in complete harmony with nature. They have built railways that pierce through the heart of snow-capped mountains, creating suspension bridges suspended in mid-air. Join us on a journey to discover 16 of Switzerland's most breathtaking wonders. From legendary mountain peaks and icy gems hidden deep within dense forests to villages straight out of fairy tales. Welcome to Switzerland, a symphony of nature. There are sheer limestone cliffs, hundreds of meters high, like a giant wall shielding a separate world below. Lauterbrunnen Valley appears as a deep, intricate cut that nature deliberately carved into the heart of the Alps during the Ice Age. The massive ice mass melted thousands of years ago, leaving behind a flat valley floor surrounded by vertical limestone cliffs. From these cliffs, 72 waterfalls of varying sizes cascade down into the valley. The most famous of these is Staubbach Falls, nearly 300 meters high. The water plunging from the mountaintop is torn apart by the valley's wind into ethereal mists before reaching the ground. This scene makes the waterfall look like a white silk ribbon suspended in midair. The writer Tolkien visited this place and used this very landscape as inspiration for the Rivendell Valley of the Elves in The Lord of the Rings. Below the falls, the Lütschine River. Its waters a muddy color from melting ice, flows through vibrant green meadows. Herds of Simmental cattle graze peacefully in the fields. The bells around their necks echo in the quiet, early morning air. Throughout the valley are traditional wooden chalets with steeply pitched roofs, weathered by time. The balconies of these houses are always overflowing with vibrant petunias. The local people maintain a peaceful lifestyle and are determined to preserve this pristine landscape. You can follow the small path leading behind the Staubach waterfall to feel the cool mist on your face. The breathtaking cliffs and the roaring sound of the water create an overwhelming experience. The entire Lauterbrunnen Valley is a perfect blend of the fierce power of geology and the tranquility of Swiss rural life. A solitary rock formation stands in mid-air, its shape resembling a nearly perfect four-sided pyramid. The Matterhorn is more than just a mountain peak. It is the most majestic and ethereal natural symbol of the entire Alps. This 4478-meter-high mountain pierces through the white clouds. Its rugged rock structure constantly changes color with the light of day. At dawn, the Matterhorn blazes like a golden torch against the silvery gray sky. At its foot lies Zermatt, an alpine village nestled in the Matterhorn Valley. Zermatt has completely banned internal combustion engine vehicles for decades to protect its pristine air. The only means of transportation here are compact electric cars or traditional horse-drawn carriages. The village is incredibly fresh, with only the sound of the mountain wind and the footsteps of visitors. Ancient wooden houses made of dark pine stand close together along the narrow streets. Many houses are hundreds of years old, standing on special stone pillars to prevent wood rats from entering. From within the village, the Gornergrat Railway begins its journey climbing the steep mountain slope. This open-air cogwheel train takes viewers through pine forests fragrant with fresh resin and snow-covered hillsides. Occasionally, alpine ibex goats with their long, curved horns appear on the jagged cliffs. The higher you go, the larger the scale of the snow-covered landscape becomes. The calm surface of Lake Riffelsee below the mountain peaks perfectly reflects the Matterhorn pyramid onto its water. The turquoise water is so brilliant that anyone seeing it for the first time might doubt their own eyes. Lake Brienz boasts a unique color thanks to tiny mineral particles carried by melting glaciers from the surrounding mountains. The village of Iseltwald juts out on a small peninsula on the lake's edge. Iseltwald resembles a tranquil watercolor painting. Small wooden houses sit peacefully along the crystal-clear water's edge. The water of Lake Brienz is so clear that you can see individual pebbles and schools of fish swimming at the bottom. At the end of the peninsula stands an ancient castle called Schloss Seeburg. Built in the 19th century. The grey brick castle stands majestically amidst the green trees, its reflection shimmering directly on the calm surface of the lake. On clear days, the snow-capped Rothorn mountain behind the village reflects its white landscape onto the blue water. Pollution levels here are almost zero. The air was tinged with a scent of fresh grass and cool, damp air. Wooden boats glided gently across the lake, creating ripples that shattered the reflection of the Alps. Everything in Iseltwald unfolded slowly. The combination of the magical blue of the lake and the rustic charm of the countryside created an unusually tranquil atmosphere. The sheer, grey limestone cliffs of the Eiger Peak seemed to swallow the entire valley below. Grindelwald lies at the foot of the legendary Eiger, once the most challenging climb for mountaineers worldwide. The Grindelwald Valley is larger than Lauterbrunnen, stretching across undulating meadows shaded by pine trees. Wooden chalets are scattered across the hillside, creating an incredibly open landscape. From the center of Grindelwald village, a cable car takes visitors to the summit of Grindelwald first. At an altitude of over 2,000 meters, The first cliff walker, built by Tissot, is a masterpiece of high-altitude experience. This steel walkway clings tightly to the sheer cliff face of the mountain. Walking on a metal mesh platform suspended in mid-air offers an incredibly adventurous feeling. Below your feet is a chasm hundreds of meters deep. Before you lies a panoramic view of the Bernese Alps, with their snow-capped peaks year-round, such as Wetterhorn, Schreckhorn, and Eiger. In summer, the slopes around Grindelwald First are covered in countless vibrant wildflowers. Alpine chough falcons soar just within sight. The hiking trail from Grindelwald First to Lake Bachalpsee is one of the most beautiful in Switzerland. Lake Bachalpsee's surface is calm and mirror-like, perfectly reflecting the icy peaks opposite. Grindelwald possesses a beauty that is both rugged and majestic, with the gentle charm of its verdant hills. A colossal glacier winds through the heart of the mountains like a magnificent white dragon sleeping from the Ice Age. Aletsch Glacier is more than just a scenic spot. It is the largest glacier in the entire Alps, with an estimated volume of 10 billion tons of ice. Nearly 20 kilometers long, this glacier stretches between limestone peaks over 4,000 meters high in the Valais canton. The ice and snow, compressed over thousands of years, create a deep emerald green color hidden beneath layers of white snow. The glacier's surface is fractured with deep ice fissures, creating fantastical natural ice caves. In summer, rising temperatures melt the surface ice, forming small streams that meander through the crevices. Deep Moulin ice holes appear, allowing water to rush down to the bottom of the glacier. Surrounding Aletsch Glacier is the ancient Aletsch Forest. The centuries-old Swiss Sembren pines stand resiliently on the cliff face. Nutcracker birds frequently appear on the pine branches, searching for nuts. From the Mooseflue or Eggershorn observatories, Viewers can take in the entire majestic panorama of this glacier. The sheer size of the glacier makes everything around it seem incredibly small. Aletsch Glacier is the most vivid evidence of our planet's tectonic power. Suspended at an altitude of 3,454 meters above sea level, this place gives you the feeling of standing at the very edge of the world. Jungfraujoch boasts Europe's highest railway station, an extraordinary railway engineering feat built through the heart of the snow-capped mountains in the early 20th century. The Jungfrau Railway cogwheel train departs from Kleine Scheidegg, carving its way through the hard rock of the Eiger and Monch mountains to take visitors to the summit. As soon as you step out of the underground station, the cold, thin air of the altitude takes your breath away. Perched on a sheer cliff is the Sphinx Observatory. The steel and glass structure of the observatory resembles a futuristic space station nestled amidst a sea of snow. From this observatory, a breathtaking panorama of nature unfolds before your eyes. You can gaze out over the winding Aletsch Glacier below and the Alps stretching endlessly to the French-German border. Occasionally, alpine choughbirds soar through the biting winds right next to the viewing balcony. The Ice Palace, nestled deep beneath the glacier, offers corridors carved entirely from permafrost. A stunningly curved grey stone arch bridge plunges straight into a sheer cliff face, suspended above a deep abyss. The Landwasser Viaduct is the greatest symbol of the harmony between Swiss railway architecture and the unspoiled natural landscape. This stone bridge was built between 1901 and 1902 using local limestone. This structure, 65 meters high and 142 meters long, connects two limestone cliffs across the gorge carved by the Landwasser River. The most remarkable feature of the Landwasser Viaduct is that it was built entirely without scaffolding at the time. The bridge has stood for over a century without any major renovations. The Rhaetian Railway passenger train, with its vibrant red carriages, regularly crosses this bridge. The image of the red train crossing the curved stone arch bridge and disappearing into the Landwasser tunnel right on the limestone cliff face creates an incredibly precious moment. Below the deep gorge, the Landwasser River murmurs through the dense green pine forest. In winter, when the entire gorge is covered in a thin layer of white snow, the stone bridge stands out like an ancient brushstroke amidst the icy landscape. The winding asphalt road, curving sharply along the edge of the abyss, offers an exhilarating experience. Furka Pass is one of the highest and most dramatic mountain passes in the entire Alps. The pass is located at an altitude of 2,429 meters, connecting the cantons of Uri and Valais. Right at the most famous bend of Furka Pass is the Belvedere Hotel, a classical building standing alone on the edge of the cliff since 1882. Right next to the hotel is the Rhone Glacier, dubbed the Bermuda Triangle of Romania. The Rhone Glacier is famous for its artificial ice cave, the Ice Grotto, which is dug deep into the ice mass every summer. Walking inside the ice grotto offers a truly surreal experience. The transparent ice walls reflect natural light in a stunning blue hue. The air inside the cave consistently maintains a temperature below 6 degrees Celsius, exuding a biting chill. Viewed from the Furka Pass, the rugged mountain landscape combined with swirling clouds creates an incredibly wild atmosphere. Herds of mountain goats roam across the steep slopes. The Rhone Glacier and the Furka Pass possess an extremely rugged beauty, reminding people of the untamed wildness of Swiss nature. Lake Oschinen boasts a surreal, vibrant turquoise color, standing out perfectly against the gray backdrop of the limestone mountains. The lake is nestled among towering limestone cliffs, resembling a giant, naturally formed skylight. Located at an altitude of 1,578 meters above sea level, the lake was formed by a massive landslide approximately 50,000 years ago. The lake's water comes from glacial meltwater springs and pure groundwater streams that meander through the limestone crevices. The water flowing through the natural limestone is completely filtered of pollution, creating the miraculous clarity of the water's surface. The sheer cliffs of the Blüemlisalp, Öschnenhorn, and Frundenhorn mountains embrace the lake. On the mountaintop, patches of eternal white snow reflect the dazzling sunlight onto the calm water. In summer, visitors can paddle small wooden boats out into the middle of the lake. The feeling of gliding gently across the turquoise water, surrounded by the sound of small waterfalls cascading from the cliffs into the lake, brings absolute tranquility. On the rocky slopes around the lake, alpine roses bloom in vibrant pink streaks. Herds of cemental cows occasionally come down to the water's edge to drink and graze. Lake Eschinen represents the purest beauty of pristine lakes in the Swiss highlands. Blausee, or Blue Lake, is a hidden gem nestled deep within a lush pine forest in the Kander Valley. The lake's water is so clear that you can see the veins of the ancient trees lying peacefully at the bottom, several meters below. The lake, though small, possesses a deep, rich blue hue. This blue color comes from the absolute purity of the glacial groundwater, combined with the way light is refracted through the deep lake bed. Surrounding the lake are moss-covered limestone formations, scattered beneath the canopy of ancient Swiss pine trees. This scene creates a mystical atmosphere, like a fairy tale forgotten by time. A small wooden bridge spans the edge of the lake, with glass-bottomed boats gliding gently across the water. From the boats, viewers can see rainbow trout swimming playfully among the submerged tree trunks. The air around Blausee is always humid and subtly scented with pine resin. The chirping of birds in the trees blends with the gentle murmur of water flowing from underground springs. Blausee is proof that Swiss nature not only boasts majestic masterpieces, but also possesses delicate and poetic cornerstones. Located in northern Switzerland, bordering Germany, the Rhine Falls is the largest and most majestic waterfall in Central Europe. The falls are 150 meters wide and 23 meters high, formed during the Ice Age about 15,000 years ago, when the Rhine River changed course through a solid limestone bedrock. The massive waterfall cascades down with tremendous force, shaking the surrounding area. In summer, when the snow and ice in the Alps melt rapidly, the flow of water over the falls reaches 600,000 liters per second. The enormous volume of water crashing against the riverbed creates a white mist that rises into the air, visible from a great distance. Right in the middle of the cascading waterfall stands a massive limestone rock formation, resiliently weathered over thousands of years. Red tourist boats rise above the waves to bring visitors close to the base of this rock formation. Stepping onto the rocky platform in the heart of the falls, you'll feel the earth vibrating and hear the roaring, rumbling sound of the rushing water. High above, Schloss Laufen Castle stands majestically on the cliff overlooking the magnificent Rhine River. Rhine Falls perfectly embodies the ferocity, intensity, and unparalleled power of the water element in Swiss nature. Lavaux Terraced Vineyards is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, representing the perfect blend of human ingenuity and the natural beauty of southern Switzerland. The lush, terraced vineyards stretch endlessly from the steep hillsides down to the deep blue edge of Lake Geneva. This vast vineyard, spanning over 800 hectares, has a history dating back to Roman times and was built into sturdy terraced stone walls by Catholic monks in the 11th century. The valley houses benefit from three natural heat sources: direct sunlight, heat reflection from Lake Geneva, and heat accumulated in the limestone walls. The Chasselas white grape variety thrives here, producing characteristic, delicate wines. Ancient winemaking villages like Saint-Saphorin and Lutry are nestled among the vineyards, their cobblestone streets winding gracefully. In autumn, the entire Lavaux hillside transforms into a brilliant golden hue under the vast afternoon sun. The tranquil waters of Lake Geneva reflect the distant Alps like a mirror. Local people meticulously cultivate their crops on the steep terraces using small, specialized cable cars. The atmosphere here is warm and distinctly Mediterranean, a stark contrast to the cold, high-altitude regions. Lavaux Terraced Vineyards is a vibrant portrayal of the Swiss people's love of nature and their long-standing wine culture. An ancient, covered wooden bridge winds its way across the emerald green Reuss River, connecting the two banks of a historic old town. Lucerne is the heritage heart of central Switzerland, where medieval architecture blends seamlessly with the majestic river and mountain landscape. The Chapel Bridge, or Kapellbrücke, built in the 14th century, is recognized as the oldest covered wooden bridge in Europe. Inside the bridge's canopy are a series of triangular paintings from the 17th century depicting important historical milestones of the city. Located in the middle of the bridge is the octagonal water tower, made of gray stone, which once served as a watchtower and prison. The Reuss River flows peacefully beneath the bridge, its clear waters originating from Lake Lucerne. Pure white swans gracefully swim beside the ancient stone tower. Behind the city, Mount Pilatus rises majestically into the clouds, with its jagged, gray peaks. The old houses along the riverbank boast vibrant ceramic murals. Locals stroll leisurely along the quiet cobblestone streets. The city of Lucerne possesses a timeless beauty, where medieval historical values are preserved intact amidst stunning natural surroundings. Foroglio is an ancient village nestled deep in the Val Bavona Valley in the Italian-speaking region of Switzerland. The village possesses a pristine beauty that is completely different from the traditional wooden houses of the German-speaking region. All the chalets here are built of natural slate with steep stone roofs, designed to withstand harsh winters and heavy rains. Right next to the village, the Foroglio waterfall, originating from the Calnegia River, cascades down from a height of over 100 meters. The white foam of the water swirls around the ancient village, creating a beautiful contrast between the gray of the stone and the white of the water. The village has not used the national power grid to maintain its pristine state for hundreds of years. The residents utilize solar energy and firewood for their daily lives. Ancient chestnut trees surround the village, providing deep green shade in the summer. The roaring sound of the waterfall blends with the sound of the mountain wind, creating a rustic, natural melody. Foroglio offers viewers a magical moment of tranquility, as if transported back in time to the pure, pristine life of the people of the Alps. Bern doesn't possess the hustle and bustle or towering buildings of a modern city, but appears as a fortress of ancient limestone dome architecture from the 12th century. A turquoise river embraces the historic peninsula where the Swiss capital is located, in a remarkably peaceful architecture. The ancient city of Bern is recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site for its well-preserved medieval urban structure. The Ahr River, flowing through the city, originates from melting glaciers in the Bernese Alps, boasting a magically clear emerald green color. In summer, the most unique habit of the people of Bern is to jump into the Ahr River and float freely along its cool waters around the city. Throughout the old streets are kilometers of covered walkways and the famous Zittglogge clock tower with its hourly mechanical puppet show. The symbol of the city is the brown bear, preserved in the Bear Park on the banks of the Ahr River. The bears strolled and swam leisurely in the warm sunshine, The cityscape viewed from Rose Garden encompassed the ancient red-tiled rooftops and the gentle bend of the Aare River. Walking on a thin, fragile steel bridge suspended in the vast expanse of space at an altitude of 3,000 meters is an overwhelming experience. The Peak Walk by Tissot at Glacier 3000 is the only suspension bridge in the world that directly connects two towering snow-capped peaks. This 107-meter-long bridge connects Viewpoint with the summit of Sex Rouge. Walking on the bridge in the middle of winter, you are surrounded by an endless expanse of white snow and perpetual ice. The biting mountain wind whistles through the sturdy steel cables. From the center of the bridge, viewers can gaze out over 24 peaks of the Alps, some over 4,000 meters high, including legendary mountains like the Matterhorn, Mont Blanc, and the Eiger. The Saint-Florent Glacier lies directly beneath the bridge, stretching out like a giant snow desert. When winter arrives, the entire area is blanketed in pristine white against a deep blue sky. Adventure enthusiasts can experience dog sledding or ride the world's highest alpine coaster. The Peak Walk at Glacier 3000 offers an absolutely breathtaking view, where one feels as if they are strolling among the clouds amidst the majestic alpine winter scenery. A colossal, semicircular limestone wall stands majestically, carved into the landscape like a Roman amphitheater created by the planet itself. Cordovan is the most spectacular geological masterpiece of the Jura Mountains. This natural limestone cliff is over 4 kilometers long and plunges vertically down into a gorge more than 160 meters deep. This natural structure was formed by the persistent erosion of glaciers and ancient streams over millions of years. Looking from the edge of the cliff, the entire Val de Travers Valley unfolds, stretching endlessly with its deep green pine forests extending to the horizon. In winter, streaks of white snow clinging to the gray rock ledges create a strikingly impressive contrast. The alpine ibex, with its long, curved horns, is frequently seen right at the edge of the steep limestone gorges. They move with incredible agility on the narrow rock ledges without fear. The atmosphere at the summit of Cordovan always carries the quiet serenity of a pristine high mountain region. Low-lying mists occasionally drift over the cliffs, creating an incredibly magical scene. The Steuse Funicular Railway is the world's steepest mountain railway, with a gradient of up to 110%. This yellow-red train, with its round, drum-shaped cabins, climbs steeply through thick fog to reveal a sun-drenched, icy paradise. The round cabins automatically adjust their incline, ensuring passengers remain upright throughout the ascent from the valley to the mountain village of Stoush. From Stoush village, a cable car system continues to the summit of Fronalpstok at an altitude of 1,922 meters. In winter, the summit of Fronalpstok is the best location to witness the Sea of Clouds phenomenon. The entire valley and Lake Lucerne below are completely submerged in a soft, fluffy white ocean of clouds. Only the high mountain peaks rise above the sea of clouds like solitary islands suspended in midair. The winter sunlight reflecting off the pristine white snow creates a dazzling and enchanting scene. The observation deck atop the mountain allows you to admire the meandering river and the countless surrounding peaks. Fronalpstok and Stoush offer a spectacular, seemingly impossible visual experiences, where the boundary between ground and sky is completely blurred. Grimsel Pass is a mountain pass connecting the Haslital region of Bern Canton with the Rhone Valley of Valais Canton. The winding paved road cuts through barren grey rock formations and turquoise hydroelectric lakes, creating a rugged and awe-inspiring landscape. The pass is located at an altitude of 2,164 meters above sea level, running through a rugged granite terrain eroded by ancient glaciers. Scattered along the pass are enormous man-made lakes, such as Lake Grimsel and Lake Ratteriksboden. The water in these reservoirs has a deep turquoise color due to the abundance of fine rock from the Grimsel Glacier flowing down. The Spittelum hydroelectric dam wall stands firmly between two sheer cliffs, creating a magnificent display of human engineering. When winter arrives, Grimsel Pass is completely closed due to the thick layer of snow covering all roads. The landscape at this moment transforms into a vast, icy desert, utterly devoid of human presence. Snow-covered grey granite boulders stand silently beside the frozen, silvery grey lake under the frigid sky. Grimsel Pass embodies the raw, solitary, and powerful beauty of Swiss wilderness as it sinks into its winter slumber. Ancient grey stone walls wind through the verdant hillside, embracing Bellinzona, the capital of the Ticino canton. It is home to a complex of 3 fortified castles, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Castel Grande is the oldest and most magnificent of the 3 fortresses, standing majestically on a rocky hill in the heart of the valley. This sturdy stone structure was built in the 13th century to control strategic trade routes through the Alps. From the towering White Tower and Black Tower, viewers can take in panoramic views of the ancient city, steeped in Italian architecture. Narrow cobblestone streets meander at the foot of the walls, leading through sun-drenched squares and rows of warm, pastel-colored buildings. In winter, a thin layer of white snow blankets the grey stone towers, creating an absolutely majestic scene. The tranquility of the medieval fortress stands out perfectly amidst the serene valley. Surrounded by majestic, tree-covered alpine mountains. Bellinzona and Castelgrande are magnificent testaments to the well-preserved medieval military heritage within the heart of Swiss nature. Stein am Rhein is one of the best preserved medieval towns in all of Europe. The ancient timber frame facades, covered in vibrant frescoes, make the town appear like a giant picture book unfolding in real life. The town lies on the banks of the picturesque Rhine River, near its inlet from Lake Constance. The most distinctive feature is the Rathausplatz, where 16th century timber-framed houses are adorned with elaborate fresco murals depicting ancient stories and local history. The protruding timber windows are intricately carved with meticulous detail. The Rhine flows through the town, its clear, calm waters reflecting the ancient red brick houses. In winter, the town takes on a serene, ancient beauty. Snow clinging to the sloping roofs and stone fountains further enhances the romantic, fairy tale-like atmosphere. Perched atop the hill overlooking the town is Hohenklingen Castle, standing majestically guarding the river. Stein am Rhein offers a tranquil retreat, immersing visitors in the pristine art and history of Switzerland. Val Maggia is a pristine mountain valley in southern Switzerland, renowned for its unspoiled nature and traditional stone villages. The Maggia River flows through the valley, creating winding, deep limestone gorges. The river water is a clear emerald green, so transparent that you can see the tiny pebbles at the bottom, several meters deep. In the village of Cavaignac, the rustici houses, built entirely of stacked grey flagstones, stand silently amidst the dense pine forest. This rustic stone architecture blends perfectly with the rugged mountain landscape. In winter, White snow blankets the gray river rocks, creating a sharp contrast with the clear blue water. The gentle murmur of water flowing through the crevices and the whistling wind through the gorge create absolute tranquility. Ancient curved stone bridges spanning the river add a tranquil touch to the wild natural scenery. Val Maggia is a masterpiece of rock and water, where Swiss nature retains its most pristine and unspoiled beauty. Ancient glaciers, snow-capped pine forests, and the tranquil life beneath the Alps are not merely sights to behold. They are a heritage, a silent reminder of a pristine planet that humanity is fortunate enough to have set foot on, and a responsibility to preserve it for future generations. Switzerland exists as an earthly paradise, waiting to once again captivate any soul that has fallen in love with it.